Is Polkadot going to be able to break out and make some higher highs coming up? Well, that's what we're going to talk about right now. I'm looking on the daily chart for DOT. And this is it. We can see the results of the big Bitcoin flush yesterday. We'll talk about that in just a second. But before we do, I'm going to switch over to tradingview.com, one of my favorite tools. We're going to look at their DOT, technical analysis. We're going to start on the 1 day. As you can see, they're showing a neutral, which is not surprising. Neutral on oscillators, moving average is a buy. On the 1 week, a longer time frame, we see a buy. Oscillators are showing neutral with moving averages a strong buy. And on the month, a neutral. Interesting. Oscillators are showing a sell with moving averages a buy. So you might can tell from that analysis that the market is a bit confused right now, and we'll see that reflected in these pricing charts for DOT. Let's zoom out a minute. Let's take some perspective. All right, here's the weekly chart. This is the run up that started in October, which saw all of crypto run up like this. DOT did the same. We were around, let's say 4 is a nice round number. And we easily doubled with a nice tap of the, what's that, about 9.5. Didn't quite hit 10, but a nice 9.5 that's easily doubled. And so we're not, let's see where we at right now. We're 7.865, so we haven't quite doubled. We've given back some of those gains, I would say. But from the bottom to the top was a nice doubling of DOT. That is to be thankful for. Anytime something you're holding, if you are holding DOT, can double in 2.5 months, you are doing very, very well. It met its high, interestingly enough, right here the day after Christmas, and kind of casually was just ranging. That's all this is. It was just a range between 7.6 and 9.2. You could even probably say 9 point. Let's get rid of this one now. It was ranging here from 9.6 to 7.6. And that was to be expected during the last part of December, the first part of January. Typically, we range, we don't have big moves just because everybody's doing all the big financial markets are closed for end of year and whatnot. But we did have this nice flush, wasn't nice, but it did flush caused by Bitcoin yesterday. The damage was done in about 2 hours. Here are the 2 hours on DOT. And since then, we've kind of been just ranging. Okay, now this flush was caused 100% by Bitcoin, and that was caused by a rumor going around that the SEC had denied the Bitcoin ETFs. Well, that rumor has not been substantiated. We do not know that that is the case for a fact, and most people are just calling it a rumor. We won't know until the SEC tells us, which I understand could be any day now or in the next week or two. So this was caused by the Bitcoin flush. Before Bitcoin flushed, we saw Bitcoin rising above 45,000 and starting to push toward newer highs. And it was obviously dragging other crypto along with it, with some, excuse me, I'm on the wrong chart, with DOT kind of ranging in this range, but creeping up again. Here's the flush. It's interesting, this level right here, 7.6, this line has been here for some time. And that's where we are now. It's kind of the bottom of this wick, almost the top of this day, the close of this day. This day wicked on it. Let's see. Let me zoom out and see if it has any significance more historically. Yep, it was the top of these weeks back in February 23. So this line right here has been for the past year and a half important for DOT, and it is still important because you can see it's where we closed yesterday, it's where we opened, and we're trying to hold that level of 7.6. So what's going to happen with DOT? Well, as you know, I can't say 100%. If Bitcoin keeps going up, DOT, I believe, will start going up. It has made a huge move over the last couple of months, so it seems to have run out of a little bit of momentum, a little bit of energy. It seems to be content where it's at right now. We do not want price falling below the 7.6. If we see price falling below the 7.6, let me get rid of this. We need to start looking where it may go. I'm going to put a line kind of right here. Seems to encapsulate the top of this, the bottom of this, and the bottom of this pretty good. That's about roughly 6.3. Let me do one more thing as well. I'm going to draw a Fibonacci from, let me get this out of the way, from the lows here to the highs here. Yeah. What level is this? 0.618? That's at 7.2. Let's switch to that on the daily. Yeah, we don't want to lose that level. It's just a level I like to use to see if a trend has changed. That 6.18 is very important in Fibonacci, and it gives us an indication after a big run up if it goes below that price that perhaps the trend has changed. If we just bounce around on that price, we have no concern. We're just treat it as regular retracement, setting up for a foundation for a continued move. So here's our two levels to watch: 7.6 and what's that? Let's say 7.3. This is an important area for DOT coming up. We need to stay above that. And if we do, I think we'll continue to rise up and over time challenge the 10 again. But that looks like it's going to take some time just because, like I said, DOT seems to have little momentum at this point after a big run up, and that's perfectly fine. We'll wait to see what happens with Bitcoin and these ETFs, and then we'll find out where the market's going to go the rest of January. We'll have to see. Watch this level. Watch this level. If we stay above it, we're okay for longs. If you go below it, we'll have to have a different discussion because then it might start ranging in this area again. And we probably don't want to see that if you're looking for higher prices on DOT. Very important level here. 7.3 to 7.6. All right, let's see what happens. I will keep you updated on DOT and other crypto coins. Y'all take care.